What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So, and we're back again for another season preview. We're going over the Denver Broncos. We're going to take a look at the roster, the schedule. I'm going to give you my projected starters and what I think is going to go on throughout the season. Basically, give you a prediction on how I think they will do. But go ahead, do the YouTube thing, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. It really helps out the channel. Yada, yada, yada. Do all that stuff. Thank you much. And just stuff on the way for the channel. I'm going to look into tonight, not tonight or the day that you're viewing this, but Tuesday. I'm looking into Madden because I haven't really played with Madden in quite a bit since probably last year. So see what would be the best way to record those rebuilds, as far as not like how to record it, but like to make it entertaining. I'm going to continue looking into trying to get NCAA some way, somehow, without having to drop like $200. So that includes the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, because I don't have neither. But let's get to the reason why you're here for the video. We're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos, the new Drew Lock. Is he the franchise? Perhaps. Drew Lock. But let's take a look at the roster, which means we got to switch over here. These are not my projected starters. I feel the need to say that because someone in one of the other videos said, wow, dude, those are your starters. And I'm like, oh, you should have really stayed to the end, because this just really is an efficient way to look at the whole roster. But looking at their offense, receiving core got very much better. It got better. Jerry Jeudy, CJ Handler probably going to be using the slot. Excuse me. Then again, Jerry Jeudy, he actually he had a lot of snaps in the slot for Alabama last season, so I could see those two guys maybe flipping either or, just to kind of mix things up on the field. But a lot of excitement to pair up with Cortland Sutton, who played pretty well with Drew Lock down the stretch. And then they got a couple other receivers back there, like Tim Patrick, Deontay Spencer, Sean Hamilton, Jawan Winfrey, Tyree Cleveland. They drafted this. You can see why they addressed wide receiver early. They didn't have really any good parts back there. At least anyone or any quality starters there. No real difference makers. So they went into the draft with a plan. They grabbed playmakers for Drew Lock. They even addressed the offensive line pretty well. Just looking at what they did with Lloyd Cushenberry. I mean, the guy, he is kind of a bulldozer. Not as athletic as I'd like, but that's the cool thing about center position. You don't need to be that athletic. Kind of get away with it. So it looks like I'm pretty sold on these are going to be the starters. But an interesting name in the mix here is definitely Netane Moody. Now, hear me out on this. I think, okay, if Garrett Bowles, if he's still struggling with penalties, what do you have last year? Like, take a look real quick. Yeah, like 17, I believe. Pretty positive. 17, I nailed it. But dude, and he allowed 31 pressures. Oh, I mean, it's wild because it's not like he was that bad. But he was that bad. Like, I don't know. He's above average when he's not causing his team yards because of penalties. That's the thing. If he could eliminate penalties, he'd be above average. But no, maybe not. Maybe he won't be. But anyway, this is what I was saying. Dalton Risner, he used to play left tackle there at Kansas State. If Bowles is really struggling, man, then why not? Hey, Dalton Risner, let's see if you can play tackle. Worst case scenario, you were doing pretty good at left guard. We'll bring you back. And then you could get Netane Moody, even Elijah Wilkinson, who was so-so last year, but Netane Moody, I think, could be a real stud. So moving Risner out to tackle might be something to consider. It might be something that'll work out. But I love the addition of Graham Glasgow. He played very, very well last season after, I believe he was playing center originally. Then he moved to guard last season, and he just played very, very well. And then Juwan James, if he can stay healthy, maybe get to see what all the money was worth. But the tight end position actually looks pretty good, pretty competitive. Jeff, not Herman, but we're gonna call him Herman. And then Noah Fant, and then we got Albert Okwuegbunam. Oh gosh, I'm all choked up. I should have grabbed water. Lot of weapons there. Woo. You can even throw in Jake Butt if he could stay healthy. But they got a lot of weapons. They even added a Melvin Gordon to this offense, which is kind of blows my mind. It's kind of wild. Did they need to? I didn't think so. He's on a two-year deal. Because, I mean, I think they got a pretty loaded backfield already with Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman. Then they brought in Levante Bellamy, who is probably more of a special teams guy, gadget guy at this point. So, yeah, like, John Elway, they did a lot to this offense, and it shows. I think they definitely got a lot better. Shoot, you could throw Andrew Beck in there too, because he's kind of like the third tight end as well when they're close to the goal line. Thing is, what will Drew Lock be able to do with this? Because now KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Jerry Jeudy, he's pretty darn good downfield. He can be a vertical thrower. He's got pretty good straight line speed. KJ Hamler, he can be that. It's just his ball skills, needed to improve. He had quite a bit of drops there at Penn State, but they were pretty conservative last season with Drew Lock. He only had 11 shots downfield for 20 yards or more, which breaks my heart because you got to be able to attack downfield. You got to stretch the field. You got to stretch. You got to stretch it, man. Oh gosh, dude, I don't know what keeps getting in my throat, but whew. But I imagine they're going to expand it a little bit more this year. Last year, you're putting a rookie quarterback in. They were very safe with the play calling. He looks pretty good, pretty competent. But again, he only attacked downfield 11 times last year, 20 yards or more. You want to be able to attack downfield, or else you're going to be into that Derek Carr. Especially, he's in the same division, so you don't want to get that Derek Carr comp. I don't think he will. I think they will be a little bit more ballsy this year. But I mean, they got the they got the running game too. I mean, you would think this offense looks pretty good. They still might just be a year away though, just because you got a lot of young guys. Give them maybe a year to really gel. So we'll see. I'm very excited for this offense. On to the defense. We got Shelby Harris, Mike Purcell, who's actually very I don't want to say underappreciated. I don't think that's the case, but he's one of the better zero-tech nose tackles in the league. They managed to steal Gerald Casey from the Titans for virtually nothing. They added parts like McTelvin Agim, which I loved. I loved them adding him in the draft. He was, I think, I had a 4th round grade on him, but he's a guy that can really play. He could do gaps. He can do 3-tech, 0-tech. Like, there's a lot of versatility to him. Draymond Jones brings a very good pass rush from the interior for his size. So I like the defensive line. And then Bradley Chubb coming back, hopefully healthy, with Von Miller. And Malik Reed actually didn't look too bad as a rotation guy. Or at least I hope they use him more, as that he was kind of like forced into playing probably more snaps than he should have, because how many snaps did he end up with? 468, which, you know what? That's not bad, though. That's not bad, because about 234 of them were pass rush and snaps. He managed to get 20 pressures off of that, which is it's okay. It's not bad for a rotation guy. But linebacker, it looks like they're definitely gonna roll again with Alexander Johnson. He was fabulous. Probably Todd Davis. I'm a big Josie Jewell fan, but I don't know. It looks like they just see him as a special teams player. They did bring in Justin Shenad out of Wake Forest. So I imagine he's going to actually jump him on the depth chart as well. And then the secondary. This is the big question mark of the defense. The big question mark. They're fine with Justin Simmons. Hopefully they get him signed to a long-term deal, and Kareem Jackson back there. But they lack another safety. It was actually, they played a lot of 3 safety sets when they wanted to go into sub packages rather than opt in to bring in another corner. Because keep in mind, they were without their they're actually probably their only slot corner there in Bryce Callahan, because I believe it was an ankle injury. I'm not positive though, but he was gone for the year, and it was just pretty bad. They had Chris, like they were able to really make do with what they had, but their corner position is just very bad. Their best corner gone from last year, Chris Harris. So they brought in AJ Boye. So hopefully after 2 really kind of lackluster seasons from him, hoping that he could kind of return to form. But then who's that outside corner if you don't want to put Bryce Callahan out there, if you want to keep him kind of in that slot role, which you still can, but you might end up forcing him to play outside on base packages just because you don't have a lot of guys. They did draft Michael Ojemudia out of Iowa, so he's probably a favorite to be that starting outside corner. A lot of other guys you could be talking about, Isaac Yadam. I'm kind of done with him. He hasn't really been much of anything. Devontae Harris, he actually had some starting experience last year. One of my favorite guys though is Devontae Bosby. I think he played in the, was it the AAFL or whatever, or the AAF, right? Oh yeah, there we go. The dude was just an interception machine there, though. And he actually, he hasn't played a lot of snaps over his, I guess, over the course of his NFL career. But he has graded well when given those opportunities. So I'd like to see more of him. I'm just saying that, especially if you don't think Ojemudia is ready, then put in maybe Devontae Bosby. He's better than Yadam. He's better than Devontae Harris. Hussein Bassi, if you want to throw that name out there. He's probably a slot guy. I know. I was a fan of him, and then the season happened, and I know what he is. But yeah, he's probably just a slot guy, so we'll get into the starters in a minute. Let's just go ahead and take a gander at the schedule. The schedule will be fun because they got to go play the NFC South, which the NFC South is actually pretty darn good. You can't sleep on Atlanta. They're still a very good team. Carolina, who the heck knows what to expect from them. And then you do have Tampa Bay and New Orleans, which are going to be pretty good teams this year. Top of that, you're facing Kansas City twice a year. The Chargers are going to be competitive. I don't care if it's Tyrod Taylor back there. I'm a Dolphins fan, and he managed to get to the Bills to the playoffs. I'm just saying, he's a pretty good quarterback. And then I don't know what Las Vegas is going to look like. Really, they really could. They're kind of an enigma when it's all. I don't know. Derek Carr. That offense. Will it be good? I guess we'll see. We can anticipate it. I know Gruden and Derek Carr, they like their check down options. They like to, get close to the first down, but not really go past it. But it is a much improved team, so we'll see. Luckily, fortunately, they get the AFC East, which is pretty terrible. The Jets, Patriots, which unless Stidham is Brady V2, or even if he's just even if he's half a Brady, that team will be very competitive. The Dolphins, luckily you face the Dolphins early. Then again, Ryan Fitzpatrick might be scarier than year one Tua. And then the Bills, who are a very, very good team. And then add in the Steelers and the what was the other team? I just had it here on my site. The Titans, which are going to be pretty tough games. Like, you opening the season for the Broncos, that's kind of a tough run. Like, you get a break here, kind of, in New York, but you got to travel to New York, travel to New England. So, while, yes, these are probably the games you want away, it's just rough. It's just rough because then you got to go back home to face the Dolphins, which they may be an easy task. Who knows? On top of the Chiefs. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind. Like, looking at this, they could easily go 4-3 to start the season, in my opinion. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Those 4 games. The Denver, at least I anticipate. Like I said earlier in the video, I think they're going to be a year away. I think they're still a year away. They're still assembling this full roster. So I think they could at least sneak with one of those games. I mean, shoot, if they could get 2, that'd be wild. But realistically, let's go with 1 because I'll give them all 3 of the AFC East teams here. So 4-3, coming out of the bye. But then Atlanta, the Raiders, like we said, who knows? Just having the Saints and the Chiefs back-to-back is kind of rough. So, honestly, I like this second half of the schedule a lot better. Like, after the Saints and the Chiefs, which you get to have the Saints at home, which ain't half bad. So, yeah. Like, second half of the schedule, honestly, they could probably light it up. But let's just go ahead. Let's look at the starters, and then I'll give you my prediction here. All right. So, 4 starters. We're going to start with the offense. I got Drew Lock, of course, Melvin Gordon, but expect to see Phillip Lindsay plenty. Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton as your outside receivers. KJ Hamler as your slot. We got tight end being Noah Fant. Then I got Garrett Bowles still being there at left tackle. I think it's very tempting to maybe move Reisner to left tackle and bring in Netane Moody. I was very big on Moody going into the draft. So then Dalton Reisner, Cushenberry, Glasgow, and Jawan James. Offensive line actually looks pretty improved. And then for the defense, I just went with the base package because I was very unsure of what they're going to do with the secondary because they no longer really have a third reliable safety to kind of play on sub packages, nor do they really have a proven corner to come in and play on sub packages. So I just kind of opted. Plus, I mean, when it comes to stinking Vic Fangio, he kind of plays base defenses a lot. So I just went with Shelby Harris, Rel Casey, Mike Purcell, who all saw a ton of snaps last year. I mean, Gerald Casey was in Tennessee, but you know what I'm saying. And then Bradley Chubb, Von Miller coming off the edge with Alexander Johnson and Todd Davis. I got AJ Boye, and I do have Bryce Callahan. I know he is a slot corner, but unless one of the other guys kind of proves themselves and comes in, it could be a starter on the outside, which allows you maybe to run or sub packages. I don't know. I think just put your best corner out there, and it kind of would be Bryce Callahan. And then Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson. So without further ado, let's talk about what do I got these guys going and what. And I have them at a solid 8-8. I think that's a very safe prediction for them. Like I said, the second half of the season's gonna be a lot easier for them. Just taking a look at how I did this. Yeah, I had them winning a lot in the second half of the season. So after that bye week, so the start of the year, here I have them starting the year 3-5 and then ended 5-3. So I don't know. I think they definitely could be a lot better than that. And I mean, it's kind of it'll be kind of wild. Just because I think the Chargers will be very competitive next year. And then so will the Raiders. Are kind of hard to anticipate. Like if Derek Carr does really, really well, which he totally can. Or if, because I have my doubts about Mariota. I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback. Mariota, he's kind of had his time in his time to shine. I don't think he's nothing more than a solid backup. I said that last season. And yeah, I don't think they're going to be winning more games with him. So a Derek Carr Raider-led team, I think can be pretty scary. So on top of that, got to face the NFC South, pretty tough. Your two rando games being the Titans and the Steelers. They're not easy games. And then you get the privilege of the AFC East, which for all intents and purposes could be a lot better than what I think. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Go ahead, YouTube thing, you already know. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.